by Ms. Kim Satterfield, Tournament Director. First of all, we have from the Savannah Association, Frankie Harper.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Brunswick, Georgia, as we get set for the second of 4 games today. This is the GACA North-South Senior Girls All-Star matchup, as we've got some of the best, if not the best, talent, prep-wise, senior class across the state of Georgia. Hi, everybody. Robert Williamson and Kyle Sandy set to bring you the coverage. Kyle treated to an all-star event with the juniors and expecting the same with the seniors.
Yes, this should be a very fun game. A lot of talent out here. I'm looking at 6 Division I players currently signed, sealed, and delivered. Got some very good Division II talent on the floor as well, representing the Peach Belt Conference. A couple more girls unsigned. Just another opportunity for them to really showcase their skills and their abilities. We got college coaches from all across the nation tuning in to watch these games. Some unsigned seniors that will really help out some programs. And again, just one last opportunity to really show what they got. Should be a great game. And
we've got some all-star sponsors to thank: the Georgia Army National Guard, as well as the Atlanta Falcons Sports Turf, National Preps, Greenville Turf and Tractor, Wilson, Jostens, Athletic Field Supply, Crossover, Coca-Cola, and, of course, the GACA. Well, what kind of game do we look for compared to the juniors that just stepped off the hardwood? Of course, that, by the way, it was the South coming away with a victory 78-59. You would think now with seniors on the squad, a little more experience, maybe the Butterflies leave a little quicker?
Yeah, a lot of these girls played in this event last year, so they know what to expect. I think this one should be pretty smooth from the opening tip, and I think we're going to see some baskets. I think we're going to see some highlights, and it should be some high-level basketball overall.
I know in the game that preceded, it took a little while for the ladies to get the scoring underway. We stayed at 2-2 for about 3 or 4 minutes, but when the scoring got on track, boy, did it ever, as a total of 78 points are put on the board by the South squad. Well, I've made myself some notes today. They are wearing jerseys they wear for their school, so there are in many instances more than one wearing the same number. So in this game, I've made myself some notes to see if I can differentiate between. Don't look at my notes, though. They don't make sense to anybody but me.
Hey, I'll try and help you out. If you need some help, I'm here. We've got Kiki Adams right here from Brookwood going to Florida Gulf Coast, finding Ashley Austin going to Rice for that missed shot, but Adams gets a rebound. They'll get a second chance.
Now, are we talking Florida Gulf Coast as in the 4-year or Gulf Coast as in the 2-year college?
This is a 4-year. This is Dunk City, the team that made some noise a couple of years ago on the men's side.
Oh, yeah.
So that is some D1 basketball for you.
Jumper is a miss. It rolls out of bounds. Jester bringing it into the paint, but then tipped away. It will be brought in from the baseline by the South squad. Take a look at that South team. It's made up of Ashley Whitley, Jasmine Blemmons, Ansley Whitley, Jada Claude, Ania Chester, Crystal Corley, Jaden Hamilton, Kiana Westbrook, and as well as Matea Boyd, Jada Alston, and Destiny Wright. New North comprised of these ladies: Michaela Fuller, Kaylin Searles, Caroline Wysocki, Ashley Austin, Jordan Bailey, Tamia Aya. I'll make that Alford. And then you've got Kaylee Sticker, Kiara Adams, Lanny Edwards, Emily Wiley, Macy Gregg. Well, we're stuck at goose eggs early in this one.
Some good defense being played. Adams showing that versatility at that combo forward position, able to defend, and we're surely going to see some offense from her as well.
Rebounded by Bailey. And Bailey taking it to the north end of the floor. I know a lot of the stuff, for those who are watching that may have watched the junior game, they're going to hear us repeat a lot of information, but it's to endow our north-only viewers with this massive amount of Kyle Sandy knowledge. But again, tell us about how the process went into selecting and how the process was to make one a member of the North versus the South team.
Yes, so a lot of coaches' selections and recommendations. Difficult to try and narrow it down. So many great players. There's going to be some good ones that get left off, but They separate the North and the South by using just the region number. So there's 8 regions in each classification. Regions 1 through 4, they classify those as the South regions. 5 through 8 are going to be your North regions. Sometimes not necessarily true, geographically speaking, with the different classifications, but to be able to even out the teams, giving each team about 4 regions to choose from, and that is how we come up with our North and South teams.
And all classifications are represented in this event. I mean, is that really considered when you're looking at the All-Star event, or you're just looking at the talent? Or do you look at this many from this class versus this many from this one?
I think it's for the most part just the overall talent, but if you had your druthers, you'd like to, maybe try and get each classification represented, but I don't think it's at the very tippy top of the list. You want to get the players that deserve to be there. But Georgia high school basketball is great, boys and girls. Every single classification has a lot of talent, and that's how it turns out to be. Every single classification is usually represented.
Bailey putting up the 3 ball. It is a miss, fired to the other end of the floor. And Jester can't get it to drop. Reaches in to try to take it away, creates the jump ball. And the possession arrow will take us to the south end of the floor.
Jester, a state champion last year with Spalding, a very tough-nosed, gritty guard. Believe she is still unsigned. I know teams like Lander and the Peach Belt are after her, would fit into their style very well. Just wants to defend, wants to get others involved, and can get to the basket. A great point guard that's going to go to a school and make them very happy late in this recruiting process.
There is Wysocki with the 3. Nope, they say it's a long 2. So she was standing on the arc when launching the long ball. And Wysocki's got it.
Wysocki won a lot of games at Flowery Branch, going to Georgia College next year, a program that does a very good job of keeping that in-state talent over there at the Peach Belt. They can use some very good, solid leadership at the guard position. She's going to fit right in over there. I think she's going to see some playing time right away if she does everything that the coaches asked of her. But she is a gamer, and she can really play soccer as well.
All of these already committed, or there's some non-committed thus far?
We have a couple girls that are not committed or signed just yet. Looking at one right here, I believe Jada Alston is still available. An aggressive guard, wing-type player. Campbell likes to press, likes to get after it. A lot of good athletes, play a lot of players, and she had a really nice senior season.
Now, if you're not signed at this juncture of the season, what's the typical dynamic?
Yeah, no need to panic. You got a lot of good opportunities left, like this right here. As we mentioned, there's a lot of college coaches across the country at all different levels tuned in to watch this game. And these colleges, they have their target lists, and sometimes a couple dominoes have to fall first before some of these players get the final destination. But they're going to be playing in their travel ball tournaments, and there's going to be some individual showcases. And I'm sure a lot of these girls have a lot of interest. Now it's just up to finding the right spot and seeing when those offers will really come through.
Windley getting the block. Your coaching staff, Bob Westbrook is the head coach for the North team. Rob Grainer and Courtney Harris, the assistants. Randy McClure leading the South. Hilda Hankerson and Crystal Davis are the assistants. 3-3 contest, 4 minutes in. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Admittedly, I don't do a whole lot of high school basketball, but aren't they 8-minute quarters?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So we are going with the equivalent of 10-minute quarters in this one.
Right. And usually we did see a running clock at first, and I don't know, and now we're stopping the clock. So I don't know. I guess we might be stopping the clock on dead ball situations from now on.
Off the glass. 5-3 contest. The South has won one game already. They would like to dominate today. North, though, would love to get into the win column. Brought inside by Lainey Edwards, the Southwest DeKalb product. And she will get fouled. Destiny Wright picking up the personal. And an opportunity for Edwards to tie this up. And not going to get the first of the two, so we won't leave with a tie game, but she'll now try to get her squad to within one and does. Baseline drive off the glass. Right with a miss. Whitley with the rebound. Well, we got another foul. Do have a different officiating crew. I'm assuming that the crew that officiated the first game probably takes a game off and comes back. And this one will take the junior boys game off and come back for the senior boys. Picked up by the North. Opportunity for the North squad to grab the lead. Nice move to the hoop.
Nice shot, Kaylin Searles, a state champion, really took over in that fourth quarter against Lovejoy, scored 7 points in that fourth quarter and made some plays with her passing to really stun the nation. I mean, that was a big win, and not a lot of people maybe expected that. Lovejoy was a nationally ranked program. Lanier was very good, 29-3, but they outscored Lovejoy 21-8 in the fourth quarter and won that one going away, and Kaylin Searles, an unsigned senior, was a huge part of that, and she's got some interest, Division I, Division II, but still looking for the right spot.
What's the right spot for her?
That's a good question. I mean, Division II would be a place where she could play right away and do very well at that level. But Division I, that's always a temptation of saying I'm a Division I player. And, you know, she could probably play at that level. There are Division I schools that run the gamut of, you know, the best of the best, the UConns, but you can go all the way down to the Tennessee States or the MEAC or even the ASUN. Kennesaw State always looking to recruit. So there's just a lot of different levels. It just got to really fit the right system. But she's a player that can play at a high level. She's got some good size at the guard spot, probably about 5'9", 5'10". Consistency has been a key for her. If she's able to find that consistency, she can really make a good impact at the college level.
For these All-Stars that are already signed, is this surely a game of pleasure because they're already committed to a particular school?
Yeah, this is just going out one last time to put the jersey on, to go have fun, to play with a bunch of other high-level players and represent your school and, you know, put a bow on a ribbon on the high school prep career that you have had. And it's just a great honor to be here at the GACA All-Star Game. So a lot of fun for these players, the signed seniors especially.
Out in front of the pack, Alford, she will lay it in.
And she plays multiple sports over there at Lamar County, and I was impressed with her athleticism and length last year up in Dalton. And again, she had another great season. That's a walking triple-double threat, averaging, I don't know, about 24 points, maybe 8 rebounds, 7 steals, 5 assists. Pretty much does everything for Lamar County, who had a great season. Lost only, I believe, 2 regular season games, both to Upson Lee, a bigger classification school, and then fell in, I believe, the Sweet 16 to Model. But a really good season. Tamaya Alford really carried the load.
You know, we were talking about signed players versus unsigned players. If you are a coach of one of these two teams and you have got an unsigned athlete playing in the All-Star game, are you making a more deliberate effort to get them additional playing time and looks in this one?
That's a really good point, and I think I don't know how much the coaches know about who's signed, who's not signed. I would think they have a little bit of an idea. But, yeah, I mean, you want to showcase, of course, the top-level talent, the girls that are already signed, and let everyone have an opportunity. But down the stretch, if it's a close game or even if it's not a close game, it doesn't hurt. We're all trying to help out these girls and these boys and give them an opportunity. And if you're an unsigned senior, this is a great chance to really just show what you can do. And if you get a couple more minutes than maybe the high-profile player that's already signed, I think that can go a long way in helping out.
Of course, at the end of the game, a MVP is named. Of all these ladies on the floor, only one gets to bring that big piece of hardware home. In the game that preceded, it was Zoisha Smith who was named the MVP, and rightfully so, had a double-double in that opening game. But, you know, there are certain players over the course of time that you kind of expect them to have double-doubles or big games, and Smith would be one of those.
Yeah, she was tremendous. She's going to be a high major player. She's going to get offers from everybody. I know she already has a great handful to choose from. And, looking at this senior game, these unsigned seniors, there might be maybe one or two unsigned seniors that could end up at the Division I level. But if they can win an MVP in a game like this and really have a nice outing, that's going to boost their recruitment even more so.
Over it goes to Wysocki. Could not hang on to the toss from Sticker. And the South will have it with the North leading by 1.
Looking at this South roster, Keani Westbrook going to Charleston Southern. Jada Claude on the post up right there. Didn't get the ball, but she's going to Duke, and she's been a girl that's averaged about 25 points, 14 rebounds, put up monster numbers at Whitewater. Whitewater never really won a lot of games in her career somehow. Her and Courtney Smith were a great duo, but they definitely put up a lot of points, and now she's going to the ACC.
Count the bucket, the foul to Boone, an opportunity for the and one for Alford.
And Alford, that athleticism, that length, she's explosive, playing multiple sports throughout the season, keeps her in great shape, and she's got some basketball acumen out there as well. She's a really good player. You don't just happen to average close to a triple-double. You got to be a good player, even at the smaller levels. She's a girl that can play ball, and she is going to be very interesting to see where she ends up playing at the next level.
There's a long two, the miss, the rebound, the putback attempt from Claude, and drops it in.
Yeah, she's got a great body, so physical, so strong, so athletic, and showing it off right there.
And a reach-in foul charged to Alston.
Fouls on the South, number 12, her first, team 4.
Emily Wiley at the stripe, the Heritage Catoosa product.
Girls high school basketball in North Georgia is very good, and now they don't usually win the state championship, especially in the smaller classification. It's been dominated by the schools in Savannah and in Augusta, but there's a lot of really good programs and a lot of really good players that don't get seen as much, and that's one. Wiley had a great year, a really strong season. I'm very interested and excited to be able to watch her play today. And then Macy Gregg going to North Georgia, a pure shooter, a pure scorer, averaged over 20 points pretty much every season in high school, it felt like. Those are two girls that are coming up from the North Georgia mountains, can really play, and it's nice to be able to see them play against this high-level competition, again, from all over the state of Georgia.
Ashley Austin for the two to make it a 15-11 North lead. I know you mentioned Duke, so obviously there's some that are going out of state, but most staying in state.
Yeah, there's a couple here. We just mentioned the Georgia College and North Georgia well represented. But a lot of our Division I players, Austin right here going to Rice over there in Texas. You see Westbrook that's going to Charleston Southern. That's out of state right there. Looking at our Division I signees, sadly, none of them are staying in the state. You're looking at Old Dominion of Jordan Bailey, Jada Claude Duke, Westbrook, as we mentioned, Rice right here again. But, yeah, you want to see some of these girls stay closer to home. And I know we got Kennesaw State. I'm a proud owl. They do a good job of recruiting the state of Georgia. But I would love to see them be able to get a couple more. There's some great talent in the state of Georgia, north, south, east, west. If you know where to find it, you can get it there. And Kennesaw State's doing a really good job, especially in this junior game. They're kicking the tires. They're sniffing around some of these great prospects, but now it's just up to them. Can they seal the deal? Can they get them in the black and gold?
That was Jester trying to save it on the floor, and apparently did. The official pointing to the baseline thought for a moment maybe Jester stepped on it, but no, she saved it and got it off a North squad member. Corley trying to kiss it off the window. That is Westbrook with a putback attempt.
Westbrook very mobile, very agile. Of course, could stand to put on some weight, but that'll be just fine. She'll be able to add some muscle once she gets to college. But a good prospect. Some pretty decent footwork in the low paint and a nice touch at the line as well.
Makes her first, has one more, 3-point North lead. With still a little better than half of the first half to go in this, the second of 4 games today. We are in Brunswick High School in Brunswick, Georgia. Now this event goes from one end of the state to the other from one year to the next.
Yeah, last year we were up in the, quote-unquote mountains in Dalton, Georgia. So, yes, that's probably about at least over 5 hours, maybe 6 hours away from here. So they try to bounce it back and forth next year. Might be back at Dalton, maybe at Buford. We'll see, but they like to go back and forth to make it easier for, the South one year, North one year. So they rotate that.
Kaylee Sticker, the Dawson County product, who worked under Coach Steve Sweat.
Yeah, the legendary Steve Sweat right in front of us with Miss Sandy. And, of course, Kaylee going to Clemson, so she's one of the higher profile signees here today. Had a heck of a career at Dawson County, and they had another really nice season. Fell short to Beach. Tough matchup, but definitely a big-time player. I believe she won Blitz Georgia, the North Georgia Player of the Year. So quite the resume over her 4 seasons.
I don't think the official was quite ready for the ball to be thrown in. Well, and did a player from the sidelines throw it in? I thought that was Wysocki who threw it in.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on down there.
Well, I'm thinking maybe what happened was that Edwards thought it was a throw-in and didn't realize it was just being thrown to her to throw it in. Tipped away, loose ball picked up by Alston. You mentioned Alston being one of the unsigned. Of those unsigned, more pressure on them?
I don't think there's too much pressure. I mean, I can't really see what's in the stands right now. I'm sure there's a couple college coaches and then, of course, watching from home. But you just got to play your game. If you're worrying about who's in the stands or who's watching, you're probably not going to be as successful as you should be.
Westbrook knocks it off the glass. Toss to the other end of the floor. Able to get the reverse. What a nice job by Sticker.
Yeah, great finish, but a great pass from Greg to thread the needle there. That's North Georgia basketball.
Alston off on the 3. Sticker's got it. Picking up the dribble. That is Edwards. Greg with it out front. Then gives into the corner. It will go out and still belong to the North. Well, something that we definitely don't get a whole lot of in this one versus your regular season games or your regular non-all-star games is a lot of coach timeouts. Right. I think we might have had one in the first half, and maybe we had one in the second half too in the previous game. Nothing yet in this one.
Yeah, let them play for the most part. Let them figure it out. As long as it's not getting too sloppy or too crazy, the girls are here to play, and they're letting them do that.
You're a little surprised at the score, though, this late in the first half with 8:38 to play, rather low scoring.
Yeah, I think it's been a little more consistent than the last game where we were stuck at 2, like you mentioned, for 3 or 4 minutes. It's been a pretty solid pace throughout right now, and I think we'll be able to see both these teams get into the 70s and 80s.
Bailey with a miss on the 3. Handoff is given to Corley. And it's taken away. Sticker had it and then taken right back by Jester. And she loses it in the paint. And the 2-1s tie up. Gregg and Jester. And the jump ball will put it in the hands of North. A lot of changes, especially for the South. I think they got 5 in, 5 out.
Yeah, a lot of talent out here. I mean, we've been harping on the colleges, but we got a lot of all-state players. Number 1, Ansley Whitley, state champion at Marion County. She was the Class A Public Player of the Year. You're looking at Kaylee Sticker in the corner, another all-stater in Class 3A. Wiley shooting the shot. She was an all-state selection as well. So just a ton of talent. Whether you're going to a high major Division I school or not, or a small school, or even if you're unsigned still, a lot of all-state players. This is some of the best, really. Great talent on the floor that have done it their entire career.
GACA All-Star event. This being the senior ladies, the junior ladies preceded, the junior guys will follow. Got that little kick and able to drop it in was Whitley.
Yeah, Virginia Tech softball signee, her and her twin sister, Ansley and Ashley, both going to be able to go to Blacksburg and play some softball.
Isn't it frustrating when you see these athletes that have the ability to play multiple sports and you can't even play one?
Maybe back in my day I could play a little bit, but yeah, currently it's a struggle. You know, I'm playing in a men's league. I'm getting some burn up and down the court, but definitely the mind is still there, but the body is not.
I don't know. I think I hold the school record for most three-point misses in a row.
Oh, my. Hey, you got to be in the record book
somehow. Well, if there was ever a non-All-Star game, I could have shown up for that one.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more non-All-Star games than All-Star games.
Jaden Hamilton with the stripe, coached by Otis Smart. Makes it a bucket ball game, inside 7 to play. I think it distracted for a moment. Hamilton, they were the little, I'm sure there's an official name for the pad that has the stickum on it for the shoes, but they were ripping off one sheet. And it's a little distracting for a moment for Hamilton. By the way, tell us where you can keep up with Kyle Sandy on Twitter and all the other social media outlets.
Oh, yes, on Twitter. That's your go-to spot to follow what I do. Kyle Sandy 355. That's going to be high school basketball information all throughout the year, whether it be retweeting recruitment, just the state rankings throughout the season, giving some player evaluations. Pretty much everything comes through sandyspiel.com, comes through Kyle Sandy 355 on Twitter originally, and we got Sandy Spiel at Sandy Spiel on Twitter as well.
Are you tweetering today?
I am tweeting out some stuff, yes. So on Kyle Sandy 355, that is coming out at halftime. I'll be tweeting out leading scores and stats, and at the end of games as well. So there is information all throughout the day going on my Twitter account.
Air ball to Hamilton. Hamilton will send it to the other end of the floor. Shot up. Shot good. Count it. And Blevins will go to the stripe with an opportunity for 3.
Tough finish in traffic through the contact. One of the best players in this area. Always has been a big-time scorer over there at Bradwell Institute in Hinesville, and showing a nice touch from the line as well. Blevins, currently unsigned, another really good player that can play at a nice level. So college coaches, Division II, Division I, there's some interest for her right now, but no one has quite yet popped. So still a lot of chances for her to find a home.
Do you know who's looking at her?
Oh, boy. A couple Division I smaller schools, Division II here and there. Georgia Southern's a school that they'd like to get some traction going, but hasn't really come all the way through yet. But, just that domino effect we talked about. Sometimes your number one option goes off the board, and then, hey, look who's your new number one option, a player like Jasmine. So she'll be playing at the college level. Still time left in her recruitment process.
I believe she was standing on the arc. She was. That was Hamilton with a long 2. Hand it over to Adams. Kiera Adams from Brookwood. Well, for the better part of the first half, the North had the lead, not a large one, but did have the advantage. But the South, over the course of the last 3 or 4 minutes, has gone on a spurt that's got them out in front by 6. Fed down low. That is Whitley with a miss. And tipped out of bounds, trying to take it away from Wiley. It apparently did. No, now the official overrules. Originally, it looked like Wiley and company were going to be on the other end of the floor and defending while the South had the ball, but instead North with it. And a foul on Whitley.
Fouls on the South, number 1. Her first, team second.
29-23 contest, South by 6. Tamia Alford from Lamar County. Adam Ballard, her coach.
I believe that's Barnesville, Georgia. Hopefully I'm not mistaken, but that's that middle Georgia. You know, middle Georgia can be very wide and very vast, but it's in that neck of the woods there somewhere, and she has really helped put that program on the map. She's a big-time player.
You know, these all-star players, too, over the course of time have really improved, to me, the game of ladies basketball. It is a very highly competitive and very good sport.
Yeah. I mean, this is a real deal out here, and if I went out there, I think I could, be able to give them 10 and 10, block a couple shots. But these girls will give me a run for my money. I'm not in the best shape anymore. I could bang some bodies down low, but if it gets into a track meet, they're going to run me out of the gym.
I'm thinking with these ladies, I could handle the throw-in. They'll do the rest. Okay, yeah. Here, take, go.
Yes, they are very, very talented. This is a skill level very high here, and they could definitely play with some of the boys across the state.
4:25 left to play half number 1. 4-point advantage, opportunity to cut the lead in half. And here come those things that we see frequently during an all-star game, and that is wholesale substitutions, big changes. We just don't see that often, the one new player in and the one old player out. It's usually 3 or 4 or more.
Right. And in a setting like this, you want to get everybody as much playing time as possible and make it as even as possible. Now, if we get to crunch time, maybe we'll see the coaches try and mix up their lineups. But even if we're playing 5 in, 5 out, at least that way you do have somewhat of a cohesion. You're playing the entire game with the same people. It might be a little bit better chemistry than everyone just getting mashed together, having one practice, and that's a lot of different styles of play you have to get used to. But if you're with just 4 other players at a time on the floor, you might see a little bit better success.
Claude with the bucket the previous trip down, and the turnover has got it back into the hands of South. And Claude trying the perimeter two instead of underneath. Jester had plenty of time to think about the 3, thought otherwise. Baseline by Wright, and then stolen away into the hands. It goes of Wysocki. Adams, that's not often that you see 21-21, but that was Adams going to Sticker, and Sticker popping the 3.
Yeah, great cross-court find and a beautiful pass. Jester, she's a true point guard, gets Corley involved.
That is one of those prototypical get that out of here.
Yeah, Westbrook's had a really nice game. 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks. About 6'1", 6'2", using that length inside. Very nice game for her.
Long wingspan too, a good reach
for
Westbrook.
Kind of fell asleep at the wheel right there. Jordan Bailey going to Old Dominion with the easy bucket inside off the inbounds.
North has reclaimed the lead, 33-32. Or check that, South with a 1-point lead.
Some great footwork. Gets whistled for the travel. Can't see it from up here, but a nice up and under step through. Claude going into her bag of tricks right there. Post play, now talk about a dying breed. We talked about free throws being going by the wayside. Post play is hard to find nowadays, and when you see something like that, it really gets me charged up.
Wysocki trying to drive. Follow-up is good off the miss. That was Claude who put it up and in. It will stay north ball as Wright stepped down trying to bring it onto the playing surface. Well, the ladies at halftime don't leave the arena. They stay on the sidelines. That's where they spend the 10 minutes of the half. And as Adams with the three. Well, she's had to Sticker on the last three, and Sticker dropped it in. Adams takes care of it herself this time.
Yeah, really sharing the ball with each other. Sticker's having a really good game right now. She's up to, let's see, 6, 8, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. Going to Clemson for a reason.
2-point contest inside 2 to play. Half number 1. The miss from short range by Bailey.
Fouls on the loss, number 25. Her second.
Bunnies like that, just got to finish. She's been a double-double machine her entire career. But Madison County's going to be okay. They got the best player in the state of Georgia. I've been saying that since I saw her score 64 points in a single game this year as a sophomore. Kayla McPherson, Gatorade Player of the Year this year. She is phenomenal. That inside-outside punch of Bailey and McPherson won a lot of games from Madison County this year, but McPherson broke her hand and had to play with broken bones in her hands in the state tournament. Got upset by Marist. I believe that was in the Sweet 16. Kind of shocking, but injuries occur, injuries happen, and it's a real shame. But those two really put Madison County on the map. One of the best duos that school is ever going to see.
Inside a couple of minutes to play, half number 1. A 39-35 game. We were talking about low-scoring game previously, but both of these teams on a pace that would put them right about 80 for the game. Over it goes into the corner, and that is Alston with the three. Thrown away, South will have it. 42-35 South lead here at the All-Star event. Last of the ladies' games. We get the gentlemen underway at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
We're going to see a lot of highlights. Now, I hope they don't make it the NBA All-Star Weekend where they play no defense. But boy, oh boy, we're going to see a lot of highlights. We have like some legit blue chippers, like 4- and 5-star guys in the entire nation, especially in this next game coming up. Stay tuned. It's going to be phenomenal.
Not a backcourt because of a South touch.
Oh, quick hands, Blevins.
That's more than a touch. Wanted the score after the steal, got it back. Let's see if she will. No. How about third time the charm? Well, maybe not, but she does have an opportunity at the stripe.
Padding those stats, but boy, the lightning quick hands. I know the finish wasn't there. She'll probably make that 9 out of 10 times, but that's got to catch some coaches' eyes, that quickness, that on-ball defense, able to poke it away.
Now, if you're a college scout, are you looking at those misses, or are you just looking at the fact you created so many opportunities?
I think the opportunities, you could always be half glass empty, half glass full. You can work on that stuff. If you're a college coaching staff, you're obviously going to say and think that I can help this player get better. And if you have the intangibles and the tools like that, just the God-given abilities, you can use that. You can recruit that, and you can make them a lot better.
Pretty nice looking shot there. That was Hamilton. And all of a sudden the lead has been expanded to 9 for the South, 46-37 game.
Number 12. Her second, team 9.
I think we're going to have a guest interview at halftime, so stay tuned. We already talked to one state champion coach. I think we're about to talk to another one in Class 6A and Tim Slater, so stay tuned. We're going to take a short break. We're going to have to tweet out all these stats, get everything calculated. We've got a lot of points on the board. But we'll have a quick little interview.
It is halftime, 46-38. South leading the senior all-star game for the ladies. We are back with that conversation right after this.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Just about all white. Jones County diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Craft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
We are back. It is 46-38 at the half. Senior South team up on top on this North girls squad in the GACA All-Star Game. And with me, we already talked to one state champion. We have one of the more unexpected state champions. In Class 6A, it is none other than Tim Slater. Hate him or love him, he is a state champion. He has come from, I guess you could say, maybe the bottom of the bottom or just the unknown, and he's risen his way. It has not been a straight climb to the top. There's ups and downs in success. It's not always linear, but you have a state championship. You had a great program at Lanier this year. Coach Slater, talk to me about that girls program and talk to me about that special run. Some said you were a long shot, but
you said I was a long shot. Let's be honest. You said I was a long shot. So, we had a bunch of girls who just really, really wanted to be coached hard and really wanted to be excellent. I mean, we had 6 seniors, 2 of which are playing today. You know, my starting backcourt and Michaela Fuller and Kaylin Searles. And they just had a strong desire to be excellent. They had a strong desire to prove a lot of people wrong. Right. Pundits like yourself included. Right, so it's a joy to coach kids like that. So it's a special group. It was 29 wins, most in school history, first region championship in school history, first state finals appearance, first state championship. So a lot of firsts that these Longhorns leave, a legacy, so to speak, for that senior class.
And a lot of firsts. It was also your first year on the job at Lanier, correct?
That's correct. This group, I'm the 3rd head coach these seniors have had. And so just that's a testament more to them than me. Just their resilience and their ability to work hard and their ability to keep focus and to keep the destination in mind, and that destination ultimately being the 6A state championship.
And in your first year, how do you get, especially all these seniors, but just everyone in general, how do you get them to all buy in to your mindset, your culture? How do you get them to play at that level they did, especially to peak at the right time and win a state championship?
So, a lot of people ask me, why I'm good, and the simple issue is I care more. I care more than most folks, and I'm willing to work more as a result of it. So, I mean, the amount of time, effort, and energy we spend as a team in skill development, the amount of time, effort, and energy we spend on film, the amount of time, effort, and energy we spend on game plan and scheme, and these are things that we spend a lot of time, effort, and energy on. And so because of that, I think the girls bought in to they recognize how much I cared, how much I really wanted it, and how much my passion for achieving their dream.
And you got some unsigned seniors that are playing right now, and you got a great junior that we just saw playing, Christabella Zuma. Talk about them and some of your other players on that roster. I know there's a couple that are still trying to find a home at the next level.
So like I said, we have a great senior class. We have 6 kids. We have 3 that really desire to play at the next level. Michaela Fuller, obviously senior point guard for us. 3.8 GPA. Zell Miller, kid, she's phenomenal. I mean, second in voting behind Chella Watson, who's going to Cincinnati for Region Player of the Year. Kaylin Searles, who's superstar track. Runs a 52-second 400, which is faster than you run it, I would imagine. And so, I mean, obviously she's a great kid. And then Nala Lawrence, who is our leading scorer in the state championship game sharpshooter, and she'll be attending Wesleyan in Macon in the fall. So, we've got those, and then obviously, we got the Twin Towers back in Lizzie Campbell, who was what I like to call the darn near double-double in the state championship, and then Christabella Zuma, who's got a chance to be really, really special. So, we've got a lot of pieces, and a JV team that's coming back that was undefeated in region play, a freshman team that was had the most wins in a freshman team in school, second most in school history, and so I mean we've got a lot of bright future ahead of us. Obviously, we'll be very, very young. Graduate 6 of our guards. I mean, all our guards that we played will be gone, and so we really don't know what we're going to look like. We've got the Twin Towers, and we're going to see just who we turn into and who we develop into as the season unfolds.
And I mentioned it earlier, you have had a interesting coaching career, a lot of zigs, many zags. Could you give a quick rundown of where you started at and how you ended up at Lanier and becoming a state champion?
Well, it's a long story, but the simple part of it is this. I said I care more. I'm a career changer. I wasn't always a teacher. In fact, I've got my undergrad in accounting, I've got my master's of business administration, I've got my CPA licensure, and I was in industry and hated it and wanted to get back in, and the opportunity to impact young lives, the opportunity to play basketball, a game I love, and coach basketball, a game I love, is just there was a lot of ups and downs, but that's one of the things that we talk about with our kids is it's not where you start, it's where you finish that makes all the difference in the world. And so for us to have this finish this year for this senior class and to kind of set the program on the trajectory it's on, we're not done yet. I mean, we're not going to be one of those one and done programs. We've got kids that are willing to put in the work and care as much as I do, and it's a great fit, and I'm excited about the opportunity to be a Longhorn.
And talking about those zigs and those zags, and it's not all success. You have some bad seasons, you have some down seasons, some trying seasons. Do you think that has helped you as a coach, not just going, all roses the first time you step on the court, you're winning 25 games every single season? You had to go through, the slums of hard losing seasons. Do you think that has helped build you as a coach personally?
Well, and not just losses on the court. I mean, personal losses and professional losses and things. But again, you can't enjoy the sweet without the sour. And so we are a summation of our journey. But again, I'm a destination guy, and the destination is every year we want to do 3 things. We want to graduate our kids, we want to get them to the next level, and we want to win a state championship. Those are our goals. It's that order every year, every time. And so you check each box as you go, and the destination is what the destination is, and that's for us. I mean, we want, like I said, we want to graduate our kids. We want them to get to college and play at the next level and win a state title. So this is just the first year I've got to check all 3.
And lastly, just how special has that community of Lanier been, Sugar Hill, over there. Your first year, you have great success, but even if you did not have that great success and did not have that storybook ending, how great has the administration been and the people?
Just absolutely phenomenal. I can't speak enough about my athletic director, Matt McDonald, and the support, obviously the faith in hiring me, my principal, Dr. Christopher Martin, and just everything he's done for us and our program and the unconditional love. And the community itself has really just embraced me and my family, and it's been neat. It's one of those storybook things that you never think you'd get to experience, so I'm really just trying to enjoy it. But enjoy it really for my kids because my girls deserve it.
Coach, I really appreciate you coming here.
And it wouldn't be an interview if I didn't say rock fight. So rock fight.
I was thinking about that, but we'll let sleeping dogs lie for now. But Coach, thank you for coming.
Mr. Sandy,
great to
pleasure
see you.
as usual.
Sir, we'll stay in touch, I'm sure. And we have less than 20 seconds to go before the tip-off of the second half. Going to get inbounded and started away. 46-38, South girls team on top of the North All-Stars Seniors GACA Classic. We've got a good one ahead of us. We've got 6 Division I players currently signed, sealed, and delivered. A couple Division II players, and a lot more unsigned that are just on the verge of finding their home. Should be a good second half.
And we get it in progress with the throw in from the far sideline. South with the lead and the basketball. That is Alston who gives into the corner, and then immediately Hamilton putting up the long 2.
Hamilton got hurt in their loss in the Final Four to Douglas, trying to go for a three-peat state championship. She got hurt early in the third quarter, never returned, and that really hurt Laney. Laney was, I wouldn't say rolling, but they were in very good shape against Douglas. But when she went down, that really hurt their chances. And Nakia Thompson and the rest of those Astros smelled blood in the water. A 13-0 run really sprung them forward, and they grabbed the lead and never let go. Laney battled back, a lot of pressing, forced a couple turnovers, but Douglas showed that championship resolve to close it out and win their first state title.
Well, the ladies have swapped ends on the floor. That means that Alston turns around, goes to the other end. It is stolen away. Handed over to Austin.
Tough basket inside. That's that great footwork going to Rice, a very good program. Austin's been a fixture on the all-state team, 6 foot, inside-out scorer, nice touch, tenacious rebounder, has improved her ball handling and her outside shooting as well. She's a complete player and a great, great player in Northview history, a true legend.
Barely nibbled the rim. It was Jester, and Jester eventually sees the ball wind up in North hands. A lot of these players, too, I would assume that they are looking at a program. I mean, some are looking from a scholarship perspective exclusively for the athletic aspect, but there are some that are also looking at what they want to make a career field at some juncture.
Yeah, Rice, definitely a high academic program. You can go to school there, you can play basketball, you can get free school and get a heck of an education. I mean, it's just blessings on top of blessings. And, you know, that's a great thing. Student athletes, you got to be a student first. And Ashley Austin has definitely exemplified that.
And then you're hanging around one of the, the 5th largest city in the nation?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, there's some big towns across the state, and going to Texas, you're right there in the thick of things. I'm sure she's going to have a lot of great life experiences.
And in the thick of a lot of colleges. I know there's Rice, there's Texas Southern, there's Houston.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot. They say everything's bigger in Texas for a reason, and yeah, that's for sure.
48-40 South lead. We are a couple of minutes into the second half, and there is a walk.
Ainsley Whitley working inside, just showing that great athleticism, that Class A public, a dominant force, average like 21 points and 17 rebounds, or 25 and 7. Just ridiculous. A monster, and showing that she can get the job done against a Division I player in Ashley Austin. A nice drive, just a great physical specimen that knows how to play the game of basketball.
I would assume that if you're one of the players from a smaller classification, you thrive on these opportunities to show that you can play against the big boys, so to speak.
Yeah, and even as a media member, a scout, whatever you want to call me, a man of many hats. I love seeing it because we know you can kill people, dominate, just be the wrecking ball force at the smaller levels. But when these smaller schools get to play against these stars from the bigger schools and they can hold their own against them and, show out and play extremely well, that is just so exciting and so great to see because basketball in Georgia is so good at every single level. And the old mindset of thinking that the biggest schools are the best schools, that is not the case. We got 3A schools and 4A schools that could be the best teams in the entire state of Georgia. They just don't get that opportunity to play the big boys. But, boy, just great teams, great talent all across the state of Georgia at all classifications.
Her second, team first.
Foul committed by Alford. 10-point advantage. Wasn't that long ago that the North had claimed the lead back from the South, but now the South building on the advantage, leading it by 11. That is Hamilton at the stripe.
It's up to 10 points now. She's had a nice game. 10 points, 4 rebounds.
Well, we did it last time. Let's do it this time. Starting the second half off, who are the front runners to grab an MVP?
Oh, boy. Hamilton's coming on strong with those 11 points now. Looks like the South team is in control, so she'll have a really good opportunity to win it. But Jada Claude's been good. She's been crashing the glass. Kiani Westbrook had a really strong first half with 8 points. And if the North comes back, you're looking at Kaylee Sticker, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists right now. Tamaya Alford, 9 points. So there's a couple girls that are in the running right now.
Off the glass, nice drive to the hoop. That is Wysocki. Claude with nobody to go to, so takes it to the hoop herself. Wysocki firing in the 3.
Nice little 5-point spurt right there. The future Georgia College Bobcat. She is a gamer. She is a scorer. She is one of the toughest guards in the state of Georgia.
Is she a freshman starter potentially?
She'll have every opportunity in the world. She will definitely have every opportunity. I know they have a really good class coming in. Sarah Plemons is going there. She's from North Murray. So they're starting to really accumulate some good talent over there in Milledgeville. But, she's a winner. And if you win a lot in high school, you can bring that winning culture, that winning mindset to the college level. She'll have plenty of opportunities to see a lot of big minutes as a freshman.
Of course, these days in the world of college basketball, being a starter doesn't guarantee you the most minutes in a game. A lot of non-starters play a lot of minutes.
Yeah, those super 6 men coming off the bench, and you got your openers, your starters, and then you got your closers. And some players, they just might be a little better suited to come off the bench but then finish the game strong.
Reaching back, getting it Corley. Handed back to Corley, a little bit out of control underneath the hoop. Caught the underneath of the backboard, and then will slide out of bounds. North will have it. 7-point game and an opportunity to cut more so into the South advantage. Wysocki hit a 3 moments ago, tried the 3 again. Down to Corley. Rebounded by Adams. Nice feed underneath, but then swatted away. Over it goes to Corley. Westbrook from just outside of the paint. Got it back, put it off the glass, and got the 2.
That is why you follow your shots, sir, right there. Prime example.
Opportunity to make the lead double digits again. Corley, it sat on the rim, couldn't do it. Got it back, slips it to the other side of the paint. Boyd with a miss. Missed opportunities for the South team. Right between the legs of Bailey, and out of bounds the South will have it.
Great look, great pass from Wysocki. got to finish the drill, the catch. I know it was coming in with some steam, and it's a low bounce pass, but a great look inside.
Lean in by Boyd, loose ball. Able to get to it was Westbrook. Seems like we're calling Westbrook's name a lot.
Yeah, she's been all over the place offensively and defensively as Blevins gets on the scoreboard there, her first points of the second half.
And that lead back to double digits, 11-point advantage. South trying to win it. Again, they won the opening game. There was a walk from Bailey. And trying to take game number 2 as well. Where is the best basketball in the state of Georgia? Is it in the north, south, east, or west?
Trick question. It's all over the place. It is really omnipresent. It's all over. If you're looking at as far as prospects for the next level and the high, the high major type guys and the guys that get all the shine, that's going to be like in the Gwinnett area and the DeKalb area and that Metro Atlanta area because they just have more opportunities, a little more money in those areas, a lot more travel basketball teams, and people know where Atlanta is, where Swanee is. It's a little tougher in these South Georgia small schools, and then being able to have the grades as well. It's very important for a couple of these players to make sure they can play at the next level. But if you're just looking at it as far as where it usually is, the Metro Atlanta area, but that means by no means does that mean there's not great talent elsewhere because it is all over the state of Georgia. Just got to know where to find it.
Let's say thanks so much to those who are making our coverage possible today, and among those doing so is the Georgia Army National Guard, and we appreciate the fact that they are indeed making this coverage possible, but they're not the only providers of our streaming coverage and this contest as well. There are additional people that provide what we do. Sports Turf, National Preps, Greenville, Turf and Tractor, Wilson's, Charleston's, Athletic Field Supply, Coke, Crossover, and the GACA.
Nice move, didn't get the finish, but Westbrook really showing off her entire skill set today. Defensively blocking shots, rebounding, little baby jump shots in the lane. She has a really good future ahead of her at Charleston Southern.
Her first team second.
See Ashley Whitley crashing the glass right there. An honorable mention. Class A public selection, a very good player. Not quite as polished as her sister, but she does a lot of great things. Passing, rebounding, blocking shots, doing everything a state champion should do.
Right at 8 minutes into the second half. Nice put in by Bailey. I believe they will get Blevins on the foul.
Important free throws, 12-point game, trying to claw back in. Seems like it's a replica of the junior game where we saw the South taking advantage and hold on to a double-digit lead for a while until they finally ran away. So North's going to need to make a push pretty soon here.
And in the opening contest, I want to think the South began to pull away at about the 6 or 7 minute mark. It was fairly close until then. And
yeah, similar deficit around here at like the 10-minute mark for the last game. It was hanging around 10, 12 points or so. So key moments going to have to start on the defensive side. It's a 10-point game. They're still in this, but 3 stops, 3 scores, and you're right back in it.
fed down low to Wright, and Wright will get fouled.
Wright is an interesting player. Dodge County, this should have been, could have been, would have been, might have been, but wasn't their year. They had a great team. Europe Brown and Destiny, who is a double-double machine, averaging about 22 points and 10 rebounds. A combo forward, really. You're looking at her, and she's about 5'7" or so. But, if you just looked at her stats, you would think she was a 6-foot post. But she really carved out some space and did great things at Dodge County over her career. But they fell to Josie in the second round and just were never able to really execute as well as I thought they could in the state playoffs. But she's a heck of a player, still unsigned, still looking for the right fit. And she's a tough player. She has a nose for the ball, undersized forward, but can rebound. She's going to play somewhere in college. I know Georgia College has shown some interest in her. And showing that rebounding right there, just one of the smallest players in the paint, but she knows how to high point the ball. She knows how to use her body and get to it.
11:44 to play. 61-52 contest. Somebody's going to get 80-plus in this one. And maybe both teams get 80-plus in this one, as we've still got more than half of the second half to go.
Wiley with a nice finish there. Now it looks like Destiny's getting a little aggressive on the offensive side.
A little friendly competition between coaches. I mean, there's one team definitely coach-wise want to win over the other. I mean, you always want to win.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you're friends, I don't know how well everybody knows each other here. If you're friends on the sidelines, it's a little competitive nature. But, I mean, it's just a game. You're here for the kids. I know it's a great, opportunity for these coaches as well. But at the end of the day, everyone's here for the kids. So you just want to roll the ball out there, give them some instructions, try and put them in the best position to succeed. And if you get a win out of it, then great.
Got a timeout on the floor. Let's take the break as well and come right back. Just about all white, Jones County. Diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. South squad asking for the timeout. A little conversation going on. Not real comfortable with what was a double-digit lead, now just 4. Again, a big thanks to all the folks who made coverage possible, and a even bigger one to the Army National Guard. Meanwhile, these people all providing our coverage too. None of us would be here if it weren't for all of these sponsors, so thank you very much.
Geez, just looking at the scoreboard, all of a sudden it's 61-57. We got a 4-point game. Just a minute ago it was a 10-point game. We were saying if they're going to make their move, it's got to be now. In the last game, North team was not able to do so, but now the senior North squad has made that move, has cut into the deficit. Now they just got to get over the top.
Well, I guess they were listening. They had to get back into it, and they did, down by 4, of course, committing the foul. Oh, we were talking about rivals between coaches. What about rivals between players? Because, some of these rivals are very, very heated. If you happen to be on a team and your teammate was somebody that previously was your greatest opposition, I guess you put it all behind you.
Right, yeah. You're all working towards a true goal of, playing well together and winning the game. Just looking at these teams, there might be a little bit here and there, region rivals and everything like that, but I think they understand. Your high school, especially for the seniors, the season's over. Like, you don't really have rivals anymore. Now you're just all trying to help each other to get to the next level. So I think all that goes out the door.
Stolen away and then taken right back. South's got it. Shot misses. Put back no good. Follow up no good. And another offensive board as Hamilton will finally drop in the 2-pointer. And then the steal and a walk. So Claude stole it but walked with it. North in possession, a 63-57 contest. Put in play to Alford. Hands it right back to Adams. Wysocki, who hit a three and then has missed a pair since. That is Westbrook with the rebound. Claude with a miss on the three. Out it will go. It stays south ball. North pointed the other way, and Kira Adams going, hey. You know, something else we haven't seen in this game. That's a technical.
Oh, gosh, I hope not. Boy, if we get a technical in an all-star game.
Have you seen a technical in an all-star game?
I don't think so. I know some wacky stuff happened in the senior boys game last year, but I don't think I saw a technical. I hope not.
Put into the corner. That is Austin with a miss on the three-point try.
Right, really attacking those rebounds now. Up to 4, had a really quiet first half, not scoring too much, but she's getting aggressive on the glass.
Loose ball, able to retrieve it was Whitley, but that Jester.
Yes.
Like I say, I made myself notes as to distinguish between the different ones in this particular case, or the different 12s or the different 25s, but sometimes they don't even make sense to me.
I got your back, don't you worry.
I appreciate that.
A little bumping, a little grinding, no foul though.
A little spin move there by Austin.
I don't know. I thought that was a good move. I can't see from up there. The referee's got a better view, but it looked like a nice wheeling and dealing, spinning move. It looked like she might have kept her pivot foot, but it's a turnover.
Well, we've got a timeout. They are standing, which leads me to believe it's a 30, so we're back in a half minute. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Crafts got it. Long throw over, and he got it. 9:12 to play, 63-57 contest. South won the junior ladies. Will the South win the senior ladies?
Picking up full court, trying to speed up this South team. Very similar to what we saw in the last game when the North tried to press, but South was just too good in transition. We'll see how the North seniors fare.
Jester with a feed. The miss, but an opportunity for free throws as Boyd goes to the hardwood and now heads to the stripe.
Her second, team 4.
Well, I wonder how the official indicates to the sidelines who committed the foul when you got 3 21s. I mean, you run over to the 21 that fouled and go, this one.
Yeah, that's tough. I know they're keeping stats. You're keeping something down there. You got to be keeping the fouls, but yeah, that is kind of hard to differentiate.
To the other end of the floor. That was one of the 21s.
Yeah, it was a great outlet pass. It looked like Kiki Adams up to, I believe it was Kaylee Sticker who saw her layup roll out. Got to hit those. Down 7. Those are important points.
A little less than 9 to play, almost stolen by Wysocki, but instead Jester's got it. Picking up the dribble near the timeline, Boyd.
Good defense from Adams there.
And it's Austin who stole it away, and there was a whistle prior to the Sticker shot. Sticker walked.
Couple travels, a lot of travels being called on this North team down here, and they're not too pleased. Kaylee Sticker a little flummoxed on the call. Good defense from Alford, just using that athleticism to move her feet and stay in front.
Wysocki's got it, puts up a 3, and she will drop it in.
She's getting hot. She's got 8 points in the second half. She's a gamer, and a turnover just a little careless. It's a 4-point game, 8:15 left. North going to Jordan Bailey, a little more offensive firepower. Going to put her in a real inside-out threat, can knock down the three-point shot, rebounds at a high clip. She's got, 5, 7, 9 points on the day.
If you're a coach, you're coaching a little different in a tight contest, getting a little late. I mean, are you getting more into that, hey, we got a chance of winning this thing?
Yeah, everyone's a competitor. These coaches are competitors, and if they see a win is up for grabs, they're going to go to their perceived horses or who they trust the most. And I think we might see that. It's a one-point game after that Kaylee Sticker 3-ball.
Well, there's a reciprocating 3 on the other end of the floor by Hamilton.
She's been very good. 16 points, 6 rebounds, a leading candidate for MVP today. She's a very solid player. Not maybe overly spectacular or wows you, but she knows how to play the game. Very productive, very efficient. Has had a really good career over there in Augusta.
All right, let's take the viewer back into the admin of the game coverage. Who makes the the MVP decision?
Oh, you're listening to him right now.
All right.
Put it all on my shoulders.
Okay.
I got the stats, so these are educated opinions, no hate mail. I had enough during the All-State selection. But, yeah, I'm just reading off the numbers here. Don't worry.
I wondered in the previous game how you knew so quickly that Smith was going to be the MVP. I'm like, man, this guy's
got tricks up my sleeve.
Yeah. Sticker coming up with the ball, gives it over to Wysocki, back over to Sticker. Pulls up at the elbow, misfires on the 2.
A little helter-skelter up and down. North needs to capitalize here.
So I guess when you consider South versus North, we went up, and it's Bailey who puts it in and makes it a 2-point advantage.
Bailey's had a nice second half, 7 points in the second half. Oh, a little push from behind. Alford got caught behind, and Hamilton did a good job of cutting her off.
I see that our scoreboard, which is it is connected via the cloud with the scoreboard here in the arena, and for the moment it has decided that they don't want to talk anymore. So we'll see if we can figure out if we can get them talking once more.
Yeah, we got 69-67, 6:33 left. South team clinging on to a 2-point lead. Hopefully we can get it back up and running because this game is getting interesting now.
It is indeed. .633 left to play.
Her first team 7.
And it's a 69-67 contest.
Westbrook back at the line. She's had a really good game. 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks. See if she can add to their lead. Austin with the rebound, can go coast to coast. A lot of contact, no foul called. And we are knotted up at 69 with 6:25 left. Ashley Austin with a late flurry here. She's got 6 points on the day, 11 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, and we shall see. We got a good one brewing.
Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
.69 all with 6:14 left. Players really starting to feel it now. Starting to get a little antsy with the referees with a lack of calls or a couple too many traveling violations. So people getting into it, fans getting into it. It's a good old-fashioned basketball game, 69-69.
I got a scoreboard back. I convinced them to talk to one another again. So we are able to pull the data and get you a score and a clock. If they didn't do that, I was going to have to do it manually. And, you know,
boy.
I would struggle. So for the moment, there we go, 69 apiece, 6:10 to play. I said both teams would hit 80. I don't know. Yeah, we still got time for both to do that.
It's a fairly high-scoring game. Pretty good pace to this one.
It is interesting in listening to the fans in the stands that they may not know it's an all-star game.
Hey, high level of competition brings out the best and the worst in all of us. We just want to win, so everyone really enjoying it. This is good. This is as good as you're going to see from the AAU level of all-star teams getting put together. This is the best of the best playing for one last time. And who wants to end their career with a loss? I don't think anybody does, because pretty much a lot of these players out here, unless you won a state championship, the last time you wore your high school jersey, you lost. And now they're getting a second opportunity to end their career with a win.
Well, and a good crowd on hand, and the crowd, of course, brings the energy to an event. You got some great athletes down on the floor, but if you want energy, then you need the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
And a very nice crowd in the stands here at Brunswick High School in Brunswick, Georgia. Site of this year's event. The end of the game, the All-Stars selected the MVP of this All-Star event. Comes from the winning team, so we'll keep it here long enough to find out who does that and then get ready for game number 3 on the day. Got a jump ball, and the possession arrow says we're going to head south.
Hamilton, just great defense right there, just getting it done on both sides of the floor. Coming out of that Laney program that presses, plays aggressive, get up in you, and bring that same tenacious mentality here in this All-Star game.
Hamilton just worked her way through defenders and rolled it around the cylinder for 2.
Right on cue, having a great game, 18 points.
Chester tips it away. Wysocki trying to bring it to the other end of the floor, but Chester able to tip it out of bounds. Brought in from the baseline by Adams. And it looks like we may have another timeout. We didn't have many in the first half, if any. But we're getting our quota in half number 2.
Tight ball games. Seems to do that. Coaches, they want to win. They want to showcase what they can do with the clipboard, put their players in the best position, break out all the traps, break out the defenses, get the offense set up. Again, it's not often that these coaches get to coach this much talent on one roster. You can do a lot more with this talent than the usual high school coach can do. You don't have a bunch of Division I players on just one roster. So when you got all these great horses and all these great talent, you want to take full advantage of it.
Well, it gives us the opportunity again to recognize the folks making coverage possible. Georgia Army National Guard, and then a host of people. Atlanta Falcons, Sports Turf, National Preps, Greenville, Turf and Tractor, Wilson, Joustons, Athletic Field Supply, as well as Crossover Coke and the GACA. Put in play to Sticker, and Hamilton reached for the backside and tipped it out of bounds.
Another interesting aspect, when you have so many great players on your team, who are you deciding the ball to go to? Who are you trying to get shots here? You can pick from Florida Gulf Coast, you can pick from Georgia College, you can pick from Rice, you can pick from Clemson, and you can pick from an unsigned senior. There's a lot of good options on the floor right now for this North team. They'll pick Clemson, and I guess that works out.
I don't know that there are any bad options on the floor.
No, not at all.
A 1-point game again. That will trickle off of the fingertips of Blevins. And the North with an opportunity to grab their first lead in a while.
A nice take. Not going to drop for Alford, but just that quickness and ability to get to the rim.
Everything looked good until the shot. Saved into the hands of Alford. Wysocki able to reach in and take it was Whitley. Goes to the other end of the floor. Lay in, a miss by Blevins.
Oh, big block.
Put back good, though, from Alford.
They have crawled all the way back into this one, the North. Trying to close the deal. Ooh.
Corley winding up on the hardwood. Sticker did it.
Another unsigned senior playing at Baldwin. Had a really good season. A team that can get after you defensively with her full court press. She's been a big-time player over there in Milledgeville for a long time now, and now she's got a college decision looming. But one last opportunity to put on the Bravettes uniform.
Any idea who's looking at her?
Again, in that Peach Belt Conference, I think Lander might have some interest in her. Georgia College might have shown some interest throughout her career as well, since she is right in their backyard. So it only makes sense to check in on her a little bit. So somewhere in that Division II realm.
We've got all this distance, 36 minutes into the game, and it was dead even. Briefly, Corley, though, giving the lead to the South.
I hope you have your buzzer beater game-winning call in mind already. It might come down to it.
Hand it off to Adams. Adams at the top of the key, whips it over to Wysocki. Baseline, Jester trying to cut off the baseline, tipped it away. And then Westbrook picked it up. Wysocki tried to get it back. South will have it.
And that was Jester with the quick hands and knock it loose.
And there's Jester receiving the inbounds.
Really good matchup, Jester and Wysocki. Two girls that have won a lot of games over their career. Jester with the state title. Wysocki was never able to capture that elusive title. Always fell to Buford, it felt like, and then they lost to Carver in the Final Four this year. But still a ton of wins on her resume.
Handoff given to Jester. All right, the ultimate question in regards to a 30-second clock. When's it coming to high school?
Oh, gosh, we get asked that all the time. You can't just snap your fingers and have it. It's a lot of money for all these schools to install it. And when you think about Gwinnett County, Norcross or, Grayson, we got money in the budget. You can snap your fingers and make it happen. But when you go to these small schools, it's a lot tougher. You're going to Dodge County. You're going to Baker County, you're going to Taliaferro County, places that you probably never even heard of before. It's a lot different, and it's a lot more difficult. Plus, you have to think about who is going to operate the shot clock as well. So financially, it's very difficult, and, you just need a lot of manpower to do it. But I know high school coaches, they really want it, but it's usually the top high school coaches that want it. And a great shot, Kaylee Sticker really coming to life here with 8 points in the second half.
Well, the shot clock is coming to high school, don't you think, at some point? I mean, it may not be 5 years, maybe not 10.
It's possible. It's possible. Yeah, I'm an old school guy. Just looking at me, I'm an old soul. I like high school being high school and college being college and the pros being the pros. But, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and we got a lot of squeakers in Georgia that want that shot clock.
Well, I always cite as an example a 10-9 game of a high school game I did, but then I remember that was in 1984.
Yeah,
so
right.
It's been a long time. So how many of those 10-9 games do you have?
I don't see too much of it, and if that's again, it comes back down to if you cannot let someone hold the ball, if you don't want them to hold the ball, come out of your zone. And, you're going to have to make the other coach. It's not just like they can just stand there. You have players, too. You can get up in their space and turn them over or make them play fast. If someone's standing at half court and holding the ball and you're going to allow them to do that, you're allowing them to do that. You can coach. You can make them not do that and put pressure on them. If it was that easy, then everyone would do it, against these great teams. But you can still go out there and not let it happen. So I think it's a fallacy to think that it happens all the time. You can go out and play man-to-man, and passing it back and forth is not going to be that easy to accomplish.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I don't think it happens all the time.
Right.
But I guess since college and pros got it, you feel like it's coming eventually in high school.
To prepare them more for the next level. I understand that, but I'm a fan of high school being high school.
Westbrook with a miss. Sticker getting the rebound. We got a dandy of barn burner coming down to the wire with 1:43 to play.
Yeah, we've seen some big second halves. Caroline Wysocki, 10 of her 12 points in the second half. Kaylee Sticker with 8 points in the second half. Ashley Austin, 6 points coming in these final 20 minutes. So the Stars are really starting to shine. 78-77, 1:43 left. We're in beautiful Brunswick. Can't wait for the finish.
North with a 1-point lead and the basketball. Wysocki handing it over to Sticker. Alford with a handoff. That is Adams with it. Backs it out to near midcourt.
Oh!
Thrown away.
Good idea, but let her little too much.
And Hamilton's got it. Feeds it over to Westbrook. And Westbrook's fouled. All right, we're a minute 8 away from the end of this one. MVP contenders, who are they now?
Oh yes, I just got the text message. We're looking at Jaden Hamilton right now, probably a strong option if the South wins, and if the North wins, I'm gonna have to go through some numbers here. It might be Kaylee Sticker, but Wysocki has made a strong case.
Westbrook trying to tie it up and give the South the lead. The MVP trophy has found its way from the far sidelines to the near sidelines to go either to a South or North player, and at this point we're not sure who. 78 each. And Westbrook with a miss. Well, it will be Alford now shooting free throws.
Alford's had some good moments throughout the day, a lot coming in that first half, but just her ability to get into the paint, and she's doing it against some really good players, Division I, Division II players. So for an unsigned senior, big stage for her, and she's really come up pretty big.
Breaks apart the tie. But can't hit both. Westbrook will tip it over to Alston. And Alston throws it away.
Oh, Alston gets it back.
And now there's going to be a foul on the floor, and you got some fans that don't agree, and you got South that doesn't agree. And, yeah, maybe an all-star game, but these ladies want to win and aren't happy with the call.
That's right. The competitive nature. Coaches, the wheels are really turning now. What do we do to preserve this victory? What do we do to come back? This is all you could ask for.
Got a timeout on the floor, 79-78 North.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
We don't need kids from North playing with the South.
47 seconds remain. Jumper Sticker. Outside of the paint, no good. And there is contact on the other side of the floor. 37 seconds remain. And this definitely has picked up a real game feel.
Oh, yeah.
24 from up north, and you get the best 24 from the south. You feel me? Yeah. I done seen MVPs of the junior game don't even make the senior game.
Jana Alston, the Campbell High School product, under Coach Randy McClure.
Big free throws here. Got to try and tie this one up. No.
Didn't get either one of them. Had a chance to tie it, had a chance to give the lead to the South, missed both. The North with that 1-point advantage.
Look at this defense from Jester.
Jester, yep.
Look at Wysocki with the handle as well. Great job from both, and they get a timeout for the North.
And Randy McClure, the head coach for the South, not agreeing. The timeout was called in time, but, well, they got it, and we will break. Just about all white, Jones County. Diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. One last kudos before we wrap this one up to the folks that make our coverage possible. People like the Georgia Army National Guard and the Atlanta Falcons. Sports Turf, National Preps, Greenville Turf and Tractor, Wilson, Johnston's Athletic Field Supply, Crossover, Coca-Cola, and the Georgia Athletic Coaches Association. Now we got a dandy and a lengthy one, 1:35. I make that an hour 35. And 28 seconds remain. The North in possession of the lead and the basketball. But we saw how tenacious the South defense could get. And there is a foul.
It is crunch time. We were talking about it. Free throws. Free throws win games. Now we get to see who put in the time in the empty gyms working on the boring free throws because they can win you games, and we're about to see it right here.
Kara Adams, the Brookwood product. Carolyn Whitley, her head coach. Some key free throws. Any way you look at it, still stays a one-possession game after the shots, but versus a one, North would hope it's a three-point lead. And she got them both some big free throws. Jester.
Sticker, look at that, the block.
Stolen away and was fouled.
I think that might cement her as the MVP pick if North is able to hold on. Great career up in Dawsonville, going to Clemson, the block, the rebound, and now the free throws to potentially ice this one.
Big free throws. One of the two makes it a two-possession game. But don't make either one, and there's still a South chance. Well, what are the sticker numbers to this moment?
The sticker stats, 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 more. Oh, boy.
That was a big miss. Needed one of two, didn't get either, but it's stolen right back as Austin comes up with it.
Austin has had a really big game. The scoring hasn't been jumping off the page, but 8 points, 13 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Rice is getting a very, very good one. And free throws.
And it was a 1-and-1. It was not a two-shot foul. It is rebounded by Alford, and then the game will wrap up. 81-78, your final score, but the North kept the South in and late with these misses at the stripe. You got some business to take care of with the MVP to be handed out to who?
Kaylee Sticker. Got to give it to her. That block, that rebound, and then, missed the free throws there. But a great way to come back down 10, 12 points with about 12 minutes left. North finds a way to rally.
All right, thanks so much, Kyle. He's got some other stuff to do, but there you know who the winner of the MVP is. That is Sticker. Kaylee Sticker, the Dawson County product, and her head coach, Steve Sweat. And we will let them hand out that big trophy before wrapping up our coverage to Kaylee. There in the middle part of the floor with the Army National Guard as the gentleman who hands out the MVP. And the trophy about to be handed out to a North team member, and we know who that North team member is, but nobody else does. We are in on the secret for the moment, but it's about to be made known to everyone. And there she is. Kaylee Sticker is your MVP. Well, the game over, an 81-78 final as the North beats the South. So for the ladies, it's a split. South won the junior, and the North wins the senior. So the ladies have finished their day. It's time for the gentlemen to take to the hardwood. We'll get that one started in about 30 minutes. Thanks for watching GACA basketball. It's an all-star event, and it's on Jock Jive Sports. For Kyle Sandy, Robert Williamson, so long, everybody.